Schizophrenia is a chronic and severe mental disorder that affects how a person thinks, feels, and behaves. People with schizophrenia may seem like they have lost touch with reality. Although schizophrenia is not as common as other mental disorders, the symptoms can be very disabling. In this video, we delve a little deeper into the disorder known as schizophrenia. The word schizophrenia is less than 100 years old. However, the disease was first identified as a discrete mental illness by Dr. Emil Kraepelin in the late 1800s, and the illness itself is generally believed to have accompanied mankind through its history. Written documents that identify schizophrenia can be traced to the Old Egypt as far back as the 2nd millennium before Christ. Depression, dementia, as well as thought disturbances that are typical in schizophrenia are described in detail in the Book of Hearts. The heart and the mind seem to have been synonymous in the ancient Egypt. The physical illnesses were regarded as symptoms of the heart and the uterus, originating from the blood vessels, fecal matter, a poison, or demons. A recent study into the ancient Greek and Roman literature showed that although the general population probably had an awareness of psychotic disorders, there was no condition that would meet the modern diagnostic criteria for schizophrenia in these societies. At one point, all people who were considered abnormal, whether due to mental illness, mental retardation, or physical deformities, were largely treated the same. Early theories supposed that mental disorders were caused by evil possession of the body, and the appropriate treatment was then exorcising these demons through various means, ranging from innocuous treatments such as exposing the patient to certain types of music, to dangerous and sometimes deadly means, such as releasing the evil spirits by drilling holes in the patient's skull. The word schizophrenia comes from the Greek root schizo, meaning split, and phrene, meaning mind, to describe the fragmented thinking of people with the disorder. This term was not meant to convey the idea of split or multiple personality, a common misunderstanding by the public at large. Since Bleuer's time, the definition of schizophrenia has continued to change, as scientists attempt to more accurately delineate the different types of mental diseases. Without knowing the exact causes of these diseases, scientists can only base their classifications on the observation that those symptoms tend to occur together. Both Bleuer and Kraepelin subdivided schizophrenia into categories based on prominent symptoms and prognosis. Over the years, those working in this field have continued to attempt to classify types of schizophrenia. 5 types were delineated: disorganized, catatonic, paranoid, residual, and undifferentiated. The first 3 categories were originally proposed by Kraepelin. These classifications, while still employed, have not shown to be helpful in predicting outcome of the disorder, and the types are not reliably diagnosed. Many researchers are using other systems to classify types of the disorder, based on the preponderance of positive versus negative symptoms, the progression of the disorder in terms of type and severity of symptoms over time, and the co-occurrence of other mental disorders and syndromes. It is hoped that differentiating types of schizophrenia based on clinical symptoms will help to determine different etiologies or causes of the disorder. The evidence that schizophrenia is a biologically based disease of the brain has been accumulated rapidly during the past 2 decades. Recently, this evidence has been also supported with dynamic brain imaging systems that show very precisely the wave of tissue destruction that takes place in the brain that is suffering from schizophrenia. Schizophrenia is a mental disorder characterized by abnormal social behavior and the failure to divide real and fantasy. Common symptoms include false beliefs, unclear or confused thinking and speech, reduced social engagement and emotional expression, delusion, a lack of motivation, and probably the most known symptom, hearing voices that no one else can hear. Besides these symptoms, people with schizophrenia often have a whole array of other mental health problems, such as anxiety disorders, paranoia, depression, and a higher likelihood for substance abuse. These so-called secondary symptoms usually begin at a young age and gradually get worse as time passes. The causes of schizophrenia include environmental and genetic factors. Possible environmental factors include being raised in a city, cannabis use, however, this is highly speculated, so don't quote me on that, certain infections, parental age, and poor nutrition during pregnancy. Genetic factors include a variety of common and rare genetic factors. Diagnosis is based on observed behavior, the person's reported experience, and experiences from others familiar with the person. During the diagnosis, a person's culture must also be taken into account. Schizophrenia does not imply a split personality or a multiple personality disorder, which it is often confused with in the eyes of the public. Scientists think that an imbalance in the complex interrelated chemical reaction of the brain, involving the neurotransmitters dopamine and glutamate and possibly others, plays a role in schizophrenia. Some experts also think problems during brain development before birth may lead to faulty connections in the brain. The brain also undergoes major changes during puberty, and these changes could trigger psychotic systems in people who are vulnerable due to genetics or brain differences. Antipsychotic or neuroleptic medications are usually taken daily in pill or liquid form. This medication helps to reduce the symptoms a person has on a daily basis. For example, delusions, hallucinations, paranoia, or disordered thoughts. This medication, however, just works for a slight period of time and is addictive when used for long periods of time. Withdrawal symptoms may emerge during dosage reduction or discontinuation. Withdrawal symptoms can include nausea, diarrhea, anorexia, anxiety, agitation, restlessness, and insomnia. Psychological symptoms can include psychosis, which may be taken for a relapse of the underlying disorder. Psychosocial treatments. These treatments are helpful after medication has been found that works for the patient. Learning and using coping skills to address the everyday challenges of schizophrenia helps people pursue their life goals, such as attending school or work. People who attend to psychosocial treatments are less likely to have relapses or be hospitalized. CSS or Coordinated Specialty Care. This treatment integrates medication, psychosocial therapies, case management, family involvement, supported education and employment service, all aimed at reducing the symptoms and improving the quality of life. If you found this video interesting and want to learn more about schizophrenia or another mental disorder, let me know in the comment section below and subscribe to stay up to date on new uploads. For my next video, I plan on doing split/multiple personality disorder, so I'll be on the watch for that. For now, stay safe and enjoy your day.